Hello everybody, my name is Chris Shivets and in BCC I am Business Development Manager responsible for financials, analytics and planning area and also for BCC extra ready product and EasyInput is one of them. EasyInput is a product that joins Microsoft Excel and SAP system and allows more effective user work due to integration of these two systems. And today I will be talking about EasyInput, showing how it works and how the user can benefit from EasyInput. Okay, let's start. What's also important, our webinar is recorded, and after finishing it, you'll get the link to the recorded version. And in case of any questions, you can write them down in the chat window on the right down side on your screen, and I'll try to answer the questions either during the webinar or afterwards. Okay, let's start. EasyInput is one of BCC products. Of the BCC extra products, we have a lot of them, so I encourage you to visit our website bccc group EU/extra where you will find more of BCC products. Okay, so what is EasyInput for? It allows performing SAP transactions or calling SAP functions on the base of data stored in Microsoft Excel files. So with one button click, one can migrate a lot of Excel data, thousands of master data records, postings, purchase order documents, and so on. EasyInput can also be used to read data from SAP transactions and function modules. Sometimes it can replace the standard SAP migration framework LSMW, or sometimes replace the SAP GUI itself. EasyInput works when working with EasyInput, the user works with workbooks, Excel workbooks. These are special workbooks based on EasyInput template, and there can be one or more scripts in such a workbook. Usually, perhaps in 90% of cases, the user will use only one script with EasyInput workbook. But often non-standard formatting or more scripts in one EasyInput workbook will also be needed, and it's also possible. EasyInput can also be connected with Visual Basic for Applications macros. It has its own API to connect macros to EasyInput scripts. Okay, so normally when migrating data from SAP system or to SAP system, various tools are taken into account. All the standard ones are usually not too user-friendly and require technical knowledge. For example, LSMW, you need to export data from Excel and then to upload it from the SAP site. Excel is not connected online with SAP system, and with huge amount of data, when errors in the data occur, it can be very inconvenient to have such decoupled integration. So it would be much easier to use EasyInput, where the migration could be done directly from EasyInput Excel workbook, sending data to SAP transactional to SAP Business Function API. EasyInput breaks the barrier between Excel and SAP system through the online connection. It's a universal tool that can be used for various areas, SAP areas, for example, from ERP, CRM, or SRM system. And it's also tested by our customer quite thoroughly. So it's ready to use, multi-language support. It has multi-language support and can be used just from the installation moment. Okay. As I said, EasyInput allows to upload data to SAP and to download them, and the authorization that are needed are authorization for RFC calls, remote function calls, and the users that prepare scripts will also need some authorization for transaction recorder or for BAPI Explorer. The tool has also its trial version, so it can be tested by the user before acquiring it. It can be tested for 3 months for free. Okay. There are a lot of possibilities to use where EasyInput can be used for data migration, easy remote transaction processing, especially for mass transaction processing, and also for retrieving data from SAP to Excel. I'll show some examples. So, to add some movement to my presentation, I'll show you how exactly EasyInput works with a small example. So I'm starting EasyInput, and I will open one of the ready-to-use EasyInput examples. Okay, I changed the language so that it's in English. In order to connect to SAP, I'll give here my credentials, SAP credentials. And this is a simple script to post financial general ledger documents. So I have 2 documents. One is already posted. I can check if the data for the second one is correct. Perhaps I will spoil something here. Okay, there is an error in the second one. The document type SX is not defined. I can correct the error. Do the testing once more. Now everything is okay. I can process the script in actual mode. And document with this number was created and returned to MS Excel. So this was an example how one can process transactions, in this case general ledger document processing within Excel, connecting to SAP and posting documents. It was a simple example, just showing how EasyInput works. But there is a new menu, ribbon menu, allowing to call EasyInput functions. Okay, let's return to our presentation. So when I did the second document, I just copied the data. but I could write them down, of course, manually. I can use here also so-called F4 help from SAP standard to look for data. Just pressing functional F4 key, and I get the window that's well known from SAP and can select another company code. I could do the same with other fields. So filling in the data within EasyInput, it's quite easy. You can use the SAP dictionary. You can pre-check the data. So if you put here something like this, data pre-check, we'll see that the field length is too high and that one needs to change this exact field. Okay, so if everything is ready, I can process, and here it's only for actual run for new records, so this 2.1 will not be processed, only the new record. Okay, and there's a lot of errors because I gave here the company code in which the account is not defined, so I changed it, and I process only the erroneous records, so only this one again. Okay, and this time the document was posted successfully, and here we get its document number returned from SAP. Okay, that's a simple scenario, but there can be also some more complex one. And as I show you, the user can work, this is only for demonstration, I can, with two worksheets only, with the connection worksheets to SAP and with data worksheet. And of course, EasyInput menu. But there is more in this workbook. I can show other worksheets that were hidden because they are not necessary when processing scripts. But these worksheets have the exact definition of a script that's called the script name, the script definition, and of course configuration. So there are some configuration entries that can be general or just for transaction scripts or for function mode scripts. Okay, but usually when using a script, it's not necessary to have this definition worksheets open, so only the most important ones are visible. Okay, before we go further, I'll show you some more complex scenarios. So this was standard EasyInput interface, but the EasyInput interface can be done so that it's more user-friendly for the user. And I'll open another workbook. With more complex scenario. I'll just switch to language. I have installed the tool with Polish language. I'll switch to English. Return to what I want to present to you. So this is document that's specially formatted for the user. So it has a header, and the line items are put here. So the user can have this document, can write down line items here, and then just process it. Oops, I haven't given my name to log into the subsystem. I'll just make it once more. I'm forced to give password. And now the document number is returned here. I have everything processed. I could now delete all the data here and write down new documents data, change the header perhaps, and so on. In this example, it's also more complex because it has more than one script inside. So it's also reading data from SAP. So I have read the documents of line items of one document. I can read line items of several documents as well. Yes. Okay, so this time I read line items of two documents, so it's just reporting with EasyInput formatted reporting. But this workbook is more complex. It has also reversing documents, so I could reverse given documents. I have this one, I'm not sure, or this one wasn't already reversed. Yes, this document was already reversed, so this one I cannot reverse, but I could give another one that will be possible to be reversed. Okay. And perhaps when I'm showing a more complex example of EasyInput, I will show you also the integration of EasyInput with Visual Basic for Applications macros. So EasyInput has its own API. Interface to connect with Visual Basic macro, and it can be used by every user. It's in Polish because I have it installed in Polish. If I had it in English, it would be in English, but okay. Let's see the first screen. Okay, I just give my name that I'm using to connect to SAP. And it's a simple report governed by macros. There is a macro connected to this button, and it's calling several EasyInput scripts. First to get a list of our customers, and then to get balances of each of the customers read. So I'm just running it. And I get a report based on calculation done by macro that's calling two EasyInput scripts several times and formatting the report exactly as was programmed in the macro. So it's only using EasyInput, but the logic is steered by Visual Basic for Applications macro. Okay, so I got the list of open items, balances with customers, and I see that this customer is the most important one perhaps, and the one I should look closer to. Okay. This was EasyInput integration with Visual Basic. So perhaps you can wonder how difficult is it to prepare such EasyInput script. And in fact, it's not too difficult. I'll show you this. Perhaps I'll reinstall the tool with English version, so you won't see the Polish. Okay, and descriptions. Okay, now it's in English. So when I'm starting EasyInput, I can read about it. These links are to various sites that show me something about EasyInput. But I can also open a new empty EasyInput workbook that I can fill in with script definition, or I can open one of EasyInput templates or EasyInput workbook prepared by me. There are several templates that are furnished together with EasyInput installation. Okay, but I'm trying to create exactly new EasyInput workbook to create master data. In fact, I'll choose a simple example, just controlling cost centers as an example. Okay, but I'll have to start by recording a transaction in my SAP system. So I'm moving to SAP system. I'll log in English. Okay, so in accounting and controlling, I have cost center controlling, master data, cost center, and cost center creation transaction KS01. So I'll start the transaction recorder and start a new recording for KS01 transaction. And I have to record just creating a cost center. I'm filling in the first screen, pressing enter. Filling in other fields that I want to be recorded. So if I miss a field, it can be omitted in recording, so it's better to change something in every field that needs to be recorded. Okay, I pressed enter to check whether everything is okay. And now I can save it and create the new master data. And this is what I'm seeing. It's a script. It's called batch input script for creation of new master data, of creation new cost center. I won't analyze the script. I'll just save it to desktop. Okay. In order to be ready to start the script, it's better to record it once more, but this time with breaking the transaction before the end, because it can be used for a test mode. So I'll just do it once more. Okay. Enter all the data I entered before. Press enter as well to check it, but cancel the transaction instead of saving it. So I'll have another script that at the beginning is exactly the same, but the ending is different. And I'll use it for test mode. So I return to Excel. I'll create a new script. I'll give it a name, create cost center. As a script ID, I'll just give the transaction name. It's a transaction script, so I don't have to change anything here. I'll go to logon screen to give my logon credentials that can be written down from SAP GUI, SAP logon pad. Or you can always ask your system administration what to write here. But once I rewrote it, I have a connection to SAP system, and I can use it. It's a transaction script, so I'll use this worksheet for the transaction script. And here I have the import script file icon, and I'll do this. I'll import the script file I recorded before. Okay, it's imported. I'll create description for that. Okay, so I have the line description that will facilitate me understanding what I'm doing. And in fact, I have a script. I have to connect it somehow to the data worksheet. In fact, I'll assign the data worksheet columns with the script lines, with the script rows. So I'll write data to SAP, all these fields. From column AB to AD, here I will write the data to the script lines, and there are more on the second screen. In fact, this is the first screen, this is the second screen, when I press enter, and the third one is the same as the second one, but with another ending with saving Buchung in German. But what's important is to understand that script is saved as a list of screens, and each action, just pressing enter on any icon on the screen, is just entering new screen. Okay, I assigned the script lines with the data columns, but I have the third screen that's exactly the same as the second. In fact, it's passing the same data as the second one. I don't need this line. I could delete them, but I can inactivate them as well. So just in case, sometimes it's better to inactivate it. And if it's really needed, you can change it back then. The cursor lines are not needed as well, just setting the cursor, screen cursor, but we can leave it as it is. Okay. Each line has to be assigned to script ID because there can be more than one script in such a workbook. I can check it. Yeah, missing script ID and run type. So I'll give a script ID and run type. It's either actual run, test run, or all run types. In fact, the beginning is the same for all scripts for the actual and test run. Only the third screen was different. So I'll put here actual run because that's what I imported. And in fact, I'll go back to Excel, to SAP, and I see that there are two screens here in the test mode. One just with pressing cancel, and the other with confirmation that I want to cancel without saving. So I could save it as a file and then read it, but I can just copy it and put it here just like this. And these lines are for test run, so I'll assign them to test run. Okay, the scripts seem to be ready. Let's check it. No errors. So we can create references in datasheet columns. In fact, it will be creation of some technical data and the description of the columns. Okay, so I have the data here, and I can use from that moment on the F4 help as well. But I want to create new cost center, so I won't look for existing ones. Okay, and to make it quicker, I'll just copy the data from here. Okay, so this is the data for one cost center, but of course I can, with such a script, I can create a lot of them very easily and quickly. So perhaps I'll make an error here, twice the same cost center. So I could start processing the script. Perhaps I'll open the message part of the data worksheet and process first in test mode. Oops, this cost center already exists. Yes, when I was perhaps saving it, I created it. So perhaps I'll change change the numbering. Okay, everything seems to be okay because it's not creating the actual cost center, but it's just trying to go through the creation transaction. I'll switch to actual run on new records. And as I predicted, there's an error here. There's the same cost center given twice. So I get an error. I have to correct it. And I can process only the erroneous records, only this one. And it's done. So now, when I'm sure it's okay, I could perhaps add on the configuration side setting that these backup screens are not needed, and change perhaps add a button to delete messages. Yes, now the button is present. So I had deleted the messages. I could delete this data. I could also set a password on a configuration and hide the configuration, and the end user would get only the logon screen, the logon worksheet, and the data worksheet to work with. I can save it somewhere. That's in my documents. And I can reuse it afterwards. Or I can save it in a shared folder so that everybody could reuse it. So when next time I'll open EasyInput and I'll try to open documents, EasyInput workbooks, I'll see that it's present here. I can use it. Okay, but it's as for creation of EasyInput script, you have seen it's quite simple. It's nothing to be afraid of. And if somebody needs more knowledge than I already showed, there is help given together with EasyInput. So when you have an EasyInput script, you can always display a manual and search through manuals. So how to go through the configuration for any of the configuration fields, how to record it, everything written here. Also the authorization needed in SAP system. And there is also EasyInput forum. So EasyInput.net. You can find here a lot of information, a lot of tutorials present here, tutorials in English, most frequently asked questions. So almost everything you will find here. Okay, what are the constraints of EasyInput? As I said, it uses two ways to connect to SAP, either transactions, remote transaction call, or remote function calls. And as for transactions, there are some transactions that are not easy to record, to be recorded. For example, the one with some logistic transactions, but there are also almost always there exist BAPI methods, business application interface methods, for such transactions that can be used instead. Also with ALV lists, so for example ALV grid, a lot of reports is done with this technique. EasyInput is not able to read ALV lists. So in these cases, when EasyInput is used for reading data, BAPI methods can be better as well. And the user, of course, to use EasyInput needs to have SAP GUI installed and MX and Microsoft Excel as well. So when installing a product, the user gets the license to EasyInput transport request files that can facilitate authorization, governance maintenance, and user installation files with add-on to be installed on the user workstation, and of course a lot of instructions. EasyInput allows for quicker and error-safer data migration than normal tools, for example LSMW. EasyInput has intuitive interface for remote batch transaction for function processing, and it can write and read data to and from SAP system. EasyInput is created for business users that very well know business transactions and can record them and process them on their own without programming skills. It's all quite easy, and in complex scenarios the Excel functions are used instead of programming. EasyInput is ready to use. In fact, when you download trial version, you can use it just after installation without any delay, after some seconds, if you have enough authorization for a test system, for example, when you want to test it. And if not, you have to ask your administrators to give you authorization to use it, but it's well described in the manual. Okay. The EasyInput requires SAP ERP or CRM system based on NetWeaver 6.0 version or higher, Microsoft Excel 2007 or higher, and Windows Vista or higher or newer operating system. Okay, you can now ask questions on the chat window, and you can also download the trial version and check it for 3 months, and when you decide to buy it, you can buy it through our website as well, just by setting an order on our website. Thank you very much. You can find all information about EasyInput on our extra products. Address is given here. Look for EasyInput. If you have any questions, ask them now or after words when we will send you this presentation, and also the link to the recorded version of this presentation of the whole webinar, and also the address when you can ask for EasyInput. Okay, thank you very much. We'll finish this webinar as there are no questions. Thank you very much.